Well, I am here with Paul Bellantone, the President and CEO of PPAI. Paul, how are you today?
Good morning, Jeff. I'm doing great. How are you?
Excellent here in beautiful California. Now, Paul, you have a designation at the end of your title, CAE. Since we're going to talk a little bit about education, could you touch on what that means?
Well, the CAE is a designation that's awarded to people in the association management industry. It stands for Certified Association Executive. And it's really my way, our industry's way, of showing that the executive has a commitment to ongoing education. And it was a test that I took. I actually achieved it, I believe, 4 years ago, and I've recertified one time since then.
Wow, and that's great, because this is what we want to talk about, is the value of continuing education. And I've worked really diligently and attended a bunch of classes and earned my MAS, so I get it. So, Paul, tell us a little bit about the PPAI certification program, the values, the benefits.
Sure.
What's happening there?
Be a pleasure, Jeff. The certification program's actually been in place since 1961. It's 50 years old just last year. And for many years, it was just the CAS and the MAS. Actually, this year in 2012 at the Expo, we launched two enhancements to our program. The TAS, which is the Trained Advertising Specialist, and the MAS Plus. And they both have, they're real integral to our program, because it makes the program more inclusive. And everything we do here at PPAI is about inclusiveness.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing. And I think if people start on that track with their TAS, then they're more motivated, obviously, to proceed. And with the MAS Plus, here you're taking people like me that have been in the industry for 20 plus years and giving us an additional goal to achieve.
Absolutely. The TAS is actually, it's a certificate, and it's for newer industry participants and people who are new to education. It's 25 education points, and really what it is it's a jumpstart program. Sometimes the gap between just starting an education and getting that CAS just seems like a long journey, and the TAS is a good mile marker. It lets you know that you've actually achieved something along the way to the CAS.
Right, yes, it is a long journey, and I think that's a great motivating tool. And one of the things I love about education, in addition to obviously getting the education, is the opportunity I've had to meet some amazing people in education classes. It was back when the Expo was in Dallas many years ago. We met folks that invited us into a networking group that to this day has been life-changing for me. And along the journey for me, I've attended these amazing events, what was the President's Forum that's now the Leadership Conference. Right. Paul, tell us more about that, because I think this is really a great way for people who are serious about professional development to connect with others and learn more.
I'd love to do that, Jeff. Let me go back to something you said I think is really important. The value of education is not just what you're learning in a book or what you're getting in the education session. It's actually that interaction between peers, between professional peers. You know that more than anyone. On your way to your MAS, you've run into a lot of people who've not only helped you professionally with the education, but you've also run into future business partners. And that's critically important. To get to your question about the NALC, the North American Leadership Conference, that'll be held in August this year. Again, it is a 3-day event. Starts on a Sunday, I believe it's August 12th, ends on the 14th. And it's 3 days of intense education, but really at the high level. It's not just for large companies, but it's for leaders in every company. And the reason we're calling it the North American Leadership Conference, because it's actually the only program that we produced actually in the industry that's supported by our partners up in Canada and our partners down in Mexico in those two associations.
Right, it's great, and I've met the leaders of both those organizations, and it's just really, these events have a great feel, so thanks for sharing a little bit about that. Well, Paul, I really appreciate you updating us on the new elements to the PPAI certification program. And we just want to encourage everybody to take advantage of education. In this competitive environment, it's going to be those who are investing some time and energy and learning how to do more things and doing what they do better. This is the key to success. Wouldn't you say, Paul?
Jeff, I absolutely agree with that. Certification is a differentiator in a competitive marketplace, and you know that from having your MAS. But I'm going to challenge you, Jeff. When are you going for your MAS Plus?
I have been thinking about that. You know, I'm kind of going, okay, what project can I work on? We've been privileged to win a couple of Pyramid Awards, so yeah, I've got to get on that. Thanks for the reminder. I'll do that in my spare time.
Yep, you have the 7 years of industry experience. It's a peer-reviewed project, so it's not exam-based, and I think it would look really good right above your head. I actually see your MAS certificate.
Oh, yes.
So I think having an MAS Plus would actually be another kudo on that wall behind you.
Right. That's a great encouragement, Paul. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks a lot, Jeff. Bye-bye.